Hello and welcome to Chicken Bros. My name is David Heath,
And I'm Morris Gibbons.
and welcome to part one of a part two finale for this series of Doctor Who titled The Legend of Ruby Sunday.
Ruby Sundi.
Yes, the companion that from day one Noah has been head over TARDIS heels for.
Hell yeah, I have, and nothing has changed that.
Absolutely nothing. And by the title of this episode, we always figured that perhaps this is where we start getting answers about Ruby's origin, why there's snow falling every time, or not every time, but like most of the time whenever she's around or mentions something about her past, why the Doctor's memory of that day on Christmas Eve that year keeps changing, and so it literally starts with the TARDIS sliding into unit and the Doctor coming out going, "Show me the light."
It was awesome.
And so Ruby is introduced to unit for the first time, kind of. See 73 yards for that. Um, uh, and so she's trying to figure out well, they're there because the Doctor and Ruby are like, okay, we keep seeing this woman wherever we land, and we need to figure out why. Um, and then the conversation of Ruby's origin comes into play, and they think it's tied to this woman who's introducing a new kind of technology to the world. Her name is Susan Triad, and the Doctor thinks he's figured it out because there's like, if you think about it, abbreviate her first name and then her last name, the letters spell out TARDIS, and then of course Kate Leather's like, yeah, we know, we figured that out. That's why we called you in, and can't think of really why. They think it maybe like Ruby is tied to the whole the woman showing up somehow. Mel's undercover, by the way. Mel, the Sixth Doctor companion, Melanie. Uh, she's undercover with Susan Triad, figuring out what's going on and if anything's fishy about her. Which she seems relatively
She's
normal.
really, she's really nice.
Uh, and I don't remember exactly how this came into play, but then Ruby decided to get the. She had a videotape of the night she was born, like from a CCTV footage,
Yeah.
and she got it from a shoebox under her bed. And while she's back home, she brings Carla with her, and like we'll need somebody to look after Cherry.
So she calls Mrs. Flood.
Yes, who we've seen only a couple times since this series began.
Yeah, because from day one we were kind of suspicious of her because in the last minute of the first episode, or was it the 60th anniversary special? She said,
The Christmas special, yeah.
yeah. She goes, "What? Never seen a TARDIS before."
Even though earlier in that special she seemed like she'd never heard of one, she was like, "What?"
Yeah.
And so she's looking after Cherry while Ruby and Carla are gone, and Cherry asks for a cup of tea, which is reasonable, and Mrs. Flood says something like we all want things we're never going to get. And then she looks out the window ominously and says, "He waits no more." And like the storm starts brewing. It's like I knew there was something fishy about her,
Yeah.
although I'm still not quite sure what it is.
Yeah.
Um, but they bring the videotape to unit, and I love this. The doctor asks Kate Lethbridge Stewart, like, "Do you have a time window?" And Kate Lethbridge Stewart says, "You strictly told us to not mess with tools that mess with time. Do you
In
have
the
a time
70s.
window?" 5 floors down.
Yeah. Kate, do you have a time window? 10 falls down.
So they go to the time window, use the tape as, I guess, the thing to load up into the time window, and then it kind of creates this projection of what's going on in
That
that tape. And so they see um, the woman who is Ruby's mom, or at this point, you know, because the story is that Ruby was left off on the stairs of a church by her parent mother. She thinks it's her mom. I'm beginning to wonder if it really is. Uh, but for all we know, at the moment, it's her mom. She drops her off at the stairs of a church and then walks away. And so we see her mom, and she's wearing like this cloak or something, this hood over her head, so we can't really make out her face. And no matter how hard anybody looks and they sharpen the image or anything like that, we can't make her out. And
yeah,
we see the Doctor appear because in the Christmas special he had to go back to that day and save Ruby from the goblins.
Yep.
And so we see him appear, go deal with the goblins, and then come back, and then all that. And then we see the woman turn and point, which we saw in, I think it was Space Babies that we saw that.
Yeah.
And we were like, that didn't happen. And so, like, Doctor's like, wait, I don't remember that. And so she's like, where is she pointing? And she's like pointing, like, northeast or something. And, like, they had one of the unit soldiers look around that area, and then it just kind of continued, and then that guy disappeared.
Yeah, vanished or something, and then they start the TARDIS, which is currently parked in HQ in like the
Yeah.
oh, it's parked in unit. Suddenly starts making this growling noise, which I didn't realize until someone pointed it out on Facebook. But that growling noise has been prevalent for a while.
Yeah, all the way back to Wild Blue Yonder when the Doctor was still David Tennant for the second time. Yeah, it was like, what is it, settling or something? And it's like, oh, this is something else. And I don't remember exactly how this happened, but like, there was this like essence or something that was enveloping the TARDIS.
Yeah, like no one could see it, but they could like sense it on the.
Yeah, and then they suddenly heard the voice of that guy who disappeared. It's like, where are you? We'll try to help you. And he says, I'm in hell. It's like, what?
Whatever this thing sees into my very soul.
Yeah, it was really freaky. And so they shut off the window, and that guy, his body's like enveloped in sand, and like he's dead essentially.
Looks like he's been dead for 1,000 years.
And so they don't know what the heck's going on. The Doctor and Mel go to Susan Triad to try to figure out what's going on. And Kate's monitoring all of this from HQ. And
Also, they're working under the theory that Susan Triad may be the Doctor's granddaughter, Susan, from
right,
his original.
that's right,
From
because you know Time Lord, she could very easily regenerate.
and also the name of the company, Triad.
Yeah, being an anagram for TARDIS, and her name is Susan. He thinks this is all just one thing, like possibly that it's her.
That's what I thought anyway.
Yeah, and well, that's what the Doctor thought too. Like possibly it could be.
Mm-hmm.
So they go to talk to her. Like he introduces himself as the Doctor to her, and no immediate reaction whatsoever. It's like, dude, like have we met? Like I if you don't mind my saying, I would have remembered a handsome chap like you. Like, so it's not her. We know that, but the Doctor still needs answers. It's like, look, we need to talk to you about something that's been going on. I keep seeing you everywhere. It's like he starts bringing up all these things. Like, do you remember being an officer on a spaceship or, you know,
An ambulance
yeah, an
or
ambulance or this woman?
a painting in the 1830s.
Yeah, and she's like, what? Like she starts having this like look of panic on her face, like she knows what he's talking about, but like we don't know why either. And so she goes to do her like little thing where she's like pretending to talk in front of an audience, and she starts having like recollecting those things because those were all dreams to her. It's like,
Yeah.
how did he know about all that? And like
She's going up.
somebody back at HQ starts saying all this weird stuff as the TARDIS starts humming, and like, what are you saying? And like she keeps saying it, and
Her name is
yeah, and
like Harriet. And it's like
doctor's like, who is that? Harriet? You met her? Wait, yeah, but what's her whole name? Harriet Harbinger. And we're like, oh no,
Harbinger, not
Harbinger.
again.
And then the doctor's like, Harbingers, the gods have Harbingers to announce they're coming, but which god is it? And then Susan starts having a breakdown on stage as Harriet keep reciting like, there's the trickster, the god of traps, the toy maker, the god of games, the maestro, the god of music, and like listing off all these different things as the doctor's trying to figure out what's going on with Susan. And then the sign starts flickering. It's like, and the god of all gods is returning. His name strikes fear and true. And it's like, it changes from Susan Triad Technology to Sue Tech, which is a fourth Doctor villain that the Doctor sealed off when he was the fourth Doctor, Tom Baker.
And the Doctor's like, I had the wrong anagram.
Yeah, and this guy or thing, this entity, it makes itself very present and very scary.
It's like a giant demonic, which is saying something. Anubis, the god of the dead in Egyptian mythology. At least
Yeah,
that's how I
which is
look at it.
actually what he called himself, the god of death. And Susan has like she turned into like some weird Skeletor looking thing.
Yeah, doctor. Yeah.
And she looks at it and is like, "Did you think I was family, Doctor?" And like every person that Sutek or Susan, or I don't know how it works. I don't know if they're connected or whatever. But like when she touches someone, they turn into sand, just like that dude, and just die. And so she reaches her hand out towards the doctor, is like, "I will end you and your incessant universe." And then to be continued. Damn it, Russell!
We have to wait a whole less than a week now, but we still have to wait
Well,
for
no,
the.
exactly a week because you and I won't be able to watch it together until you get back from Disneyland.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Ooh, I'm sorry about that, David. I'm really.
it's
I know.
okay. No, I get it, but like
I
still,
didn't. I did not plan. I didn't know it was going to be a two-parter. I didn't know.
I told you they were gonna leave us on a cliffhanger. But anyway, it doesn't matter. But that's where they leave us, and we're just like, "Oh crap, what's gonna happen? Is Ruby gonna live? Is the doctor
I
gonna
hope
figure out what's
so.
going on? Who's gonna get Cherry her cup of tea? She can't get a cup of tea for love nor money.
Nope. She can't get no tea for love nor money.
We won't know
That's my
until
running
next
joke.
week, and neither will you because we wouldn't. Well, it makes sense. We can't put out a Chicken Bros review until we see it.
Yeah.
But until that time, stick with us, and I'll try not to take too for forever to recording that one. But until then, what would you rate this episode, Noah?
I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10.
I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10 because that cliffhanger left me speechless. Speechless.
Speechless.
And also,
I mean,
I gotta give credit to current Doctor Who, like bringing back old villains because I like that they're still very like that you can take an old villain from the cheesy era of Doctor Who and make them scary.
yeah.
I love that because
I
they've done the Daleks, the Cybermen, it's
yeah.
like bring on something either new or old and make it scary like you haven't before.
Yeah. And the reason why I say 9 out of 10 is because Ruby cried. I don't want
Oh
to see my
yeah,
woman cry.
yeah. She
No,
was
thank
really
you.
hoping to see her mom and didn't.
Nope.
Which I'm still debating if that was even really her mom.
It
Like,
might
is
have been a
she?
harbinger.
Yeah. Or here's what I'm thinking. What if she's a child of the Pantheon?
I've had that theory too, but like, which?
Like, what if she's the daughter of Sutek?
Ooh, yikes.
That she just doesn't know it, and then Sutek will come along and make her do some shit that she doesn't want.
Or like
Like,
try to make her like it'll like transform her into like something like it,
yeah, she's
like
like
a
she's intended to be like the
the next harbinger even.
the heir of Suteker probably.
Yeah,
Like
but then
she's supposed to take on a certain form and be evil, but she doesn't want to.
yeah,
These are all
is that
theories, by the way.
be Bad Wolf all over again?
Yeah, right. But we'll see you when that episode airs, and that will bring
Ears.
series. Yeah, sorry, that'll bring series. What is it? 14 we're at right now.
I don't know.
Yeah, the current series that'll be the last episode of the series until the Christmas special this December.
Oh, I've lost count.
We'll see you then.
Brah.